All right. Let's go ahead and clap it up. All right. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of UPK. We started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander General Yohana, Precinct Officer 5000, Kassar Pakad. It's the Thursday night scripture breakdown for ISUPK, Northern California. Can somebody move this camera over here? There. Yeah, right there. That's cool. So, yeah, the water. Questions. Go ahead.
So like I said, if I may get
So like I said, if I may get a breakdown on Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 19. Also going into another precept to that is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 11 about mixed fabrics.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 19. Thou shalt keep my statutes. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
Right. What's the specific question with this one?
I just wanted to break down what this law really means.
So when it comes to the thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. So for the one part, when it's talking about the cattle and the mingled seed, when it comes to growing crops, you want to keep certain crops together. This is just good for farming techniques. If you have they use certain nutrients. So corn, when it's grown, it takes certain nutrients out of the ground that a tomato won't. So if you're growing tomato and corn, but sometimes they may go together, certain crops, but it's best to keep them in their own plot of land, and then you rotate them so that you don't overuse the nutrients. I think I talked about it before. The Irish ended up just killing their whole, they lost so many people. They had a famine there because they were dependent upon the potato and using the same land to grow the same vegetable or root. And it just took up all the nutrients from the ground, and the soil was useless. You know what I mean? So the Lord's giving wisdom in that. When it comes to the linen and the mixing of that, you have another precept on this mixed linen, right? Let's go to that one as well. It's very simple. Where is it at?
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 11.
Go ahead when you got it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Right. So what this means is, this is to prevent scamming and doing bad business amongst the children of Israel. If you were to find someone selling you a garment, they say it's going to be cotton. It's 100% cotton, but then they're cutting it and mixing with these other things, then they will be able to basically get over on you back in these ancient days. So in order to prevent these things from happening, they're saying don't mix this linen with this linen, don't mix that with that. If you're selling it and you're saying that this is silk, then let it be silk. If you're saying it is cotton, let it be cotton. If you're saying it's wool, let it be wool. Don't try to water these things down and pass it off as something that is legit. So if you think about, like I said, them ancient days, these stories about gypsies to this day, we see them now. It's weird. Like, I didn't see gypsies growing up. And it's like 5 years ago, all of a sudden, see a Mexican lady on the corner talking about I need money for my kids, my dirty kids, and I get a little closer. I'm like, that ain't no Mexican lady. It's a goddamn gypsy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they more and more around, but they were known for a scam. They try to sell me little iPods and shit. They got you yet? You know what I mean? They be like, I got these new iPods, $50, and you go use them. It's from China. It's not real. You know what I mean? That's been their culture for years. They usually have a saying. My mom used to say it back in the days. Like if somebody sold you something faulty, be like, oh, he gypped me. Y'all ever heard of that? That's you heard it or not? Yeah, that means they gypsied me. It became a racist term. You wasn't supposed to say it no more past the 90s or whatever. That, oh, you can't say I got gypped. But really what they're saying is a gypsy got over on you because they've been doing these things historically. So you got to think about that back at the time. You just walking through the market and somebody, I got this great fur for you. I got this. That ain't no damn, what's a famous fur? That ain't no mink or that ain't no chinchilla. That's goddamn rat fur. They didn't killed 1,000 rats and sold it together and trying to sell you that this is a mink. You know what I'm saying? And mixed it in with a beaver and you know what I mean? So that's the spirit behind that, is that in order to do good business, we were commanded to keep our things separate in that way. But nowadays, that's not how we are using that law. Because we know this is 30% cotton, this is 10%, this is 5% that. Go ahead, sis.
So this will be a law for a seller or owner, necessarily for a customer. Like today,
right?
I could say that we're 100%.
Right, exactly.
The Jewish man, I see, 100%.
Right, and even inside of that, like I said, the spirit behind it is for good business. And if you're doing that to get over on someone today, then you would be breaking the law the same way. You can't come and say, okay, this is 100% cotton, and then it's not. But today, the way we're doing business, we can clearly see that's not what people would be doing today. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. All right. Go ahead, up.
So, sir, can I get a general breakdown on Matthew 13 and 40?
Matthew 13.
I was gonna say, can we use the wheat and the tares to symbolize Esau, the other one Israel, or is it different?
Let's go to verse 36 and let's start with this parable.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 38, the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 39, mm-hmm. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
Right. So, and one more time, your question is the tares, would that be considered the
Esau?
Right. So when you go into it's not Esau in this context. When you go to the parable of the sower, which is in the beginning of chapter 13, this is used to talk about people coming into the truth. So go to verse 4.
Verse 4, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, mm-hmm. and the fowls came and devoured them up.
Right. This is what we see at camp all the time. This is a very One West precept right here, and it's something that we see all the time at camp. We were talking to that sister, that Iscariot sister and her son. She came up, or Latina sister and her son, and she's hearing the truth. She's hearing the word. then someone will come through and try to devour them before she even gets rooted and even know what this is. Somebody's gonna come try to distract her and tell her not to listen to us, and then they get lost and don't even, this is a hate group, and they just leave and they, walk away. So that's that. Someone's trying to get the knowledge of the truth and come into the truth. This is what happens. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth.
Right. It's like somebody coming into the truth, and then they're taking classes and they're watching things, and then they go home and somebody gives them a question and say, you shouldn't abhor an Edomite. They're like, damn, I shouldn't abhor an Edomite. And they're always telling me the white man is the devil, and these brothers is just lying to me and deceiving me. They don't actually come to get the breakdown. They get taken away because they didn't get rooted in the school and don't have enough of the knowledge of what we teach, and it's able for them to get sprung up because they didn't have a deepness to them, right? Because in verse 6 it explains that, and it goes on to these different things. If we drop down to verse 7, yeah, I mean, you can go to verse 9. It explains it in here.
Verse 9. Who has
19.
Verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom,
right,
and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside.
Right. So that's explaining what I just said. That they're hearing the word, they come, and then the wicked one, some evil spirit comes and tries to take them away from listening to what we're teaching. And then it goes on, verse, where you at? Verse 20.
Verse 20. But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Hold on. Yeah, so maybe, okay, hold on. Go to verse 24. Matter of fact, I'm off a little bit. So lock it.
24. Verse 24. Another parable.
This is according to the tares, what you're talking about.
Put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. Verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. Verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field?
Right.
From whence then have it tares?
Right. So this is still not Esau. I'm gonna ask you, how do you know it's not Esau?
Because it was the previous verses. It was talking about taking away someone that from the truth.
Nah. So yeah, let's separate these two parables. These two different parables. That's why I said that one didn't apply. So I'm going back and seeing it. That's not the tares. It's not talking about those things that got rooted up, those seeds. It's talking about this, where tares is like you plant one seed and then you got weeds that are growing with it. Seeds that's not what you want. And it's saying if we start going in and picking up the weeds, we're gonna get rid of the actual plant that we're trying to grow. If you're trying to grow corn and you got these weeds growing in here, you got to dig up all the ground to get the weeds up. You're going to dig up the corn too. So he's using this example for the. I'm going to give you the answer.
So is it people that think that they're Israelites, but they're really not Israelites?
No. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. The parable is used for the kingdom of heaven. And so what it's saying is, it's saying, read verse 24 again. So like, we're just going to break it down real quick. I'm going to try to be quickly.
Verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field.
Right. So this is the kingdom of heaven. You got to think about the kingdom of heaven, where blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are in rulership, where the children of Israel are in rulership. This is how this is. This field is going to be built like this. This is how we're going to get the kingdom of heaven. Read.
Verse 25. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
Right. So the wheat is what in this analogy?
Israel.
Right. And who in Israel?
Men in it.
Okay. Where are they at? Or where are they going?
They're trying to go to the kingdom.
Right. These are the men that are going to go into the kingdom. The wheat is the good crop that you want. So I said corn, but in this example is wheat. Tares will be somebody planted a bad weed amongst these wheat. Right? Keep reading.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Right. When the plant grows, the blades of the trees, they open up and you see the fruit coming out. These are the great works that the men in the truth are going to do, raising up people, saving lives, teaching people. This is the kingdom of heaven. These are the men that are going to gain the kingdom of heaven, doing the work that Paul and all these men had done, right? But then they also see amongst this the tares, Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, you see what I'm saying? Caiaphas, these other things. Now, you can say the white man planted these people amongst our people and brainwashed them into following false doctrines or influencing them. But these tares are Israelites because they're amongst the people that are look like they're building the kingdom of heaven, and they're not. You know what I mean? Keep going.
So verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares?
Where do these people come from? How did they get here? Read.
He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
Right. What is he saying? You want us to go and get them out of our people, out of our nation, right. Get them from amongst us? Read.
Verse 29. But he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Right. So what? I'm gonna give you something.
Basically, you gotta be careful, because if you do that, then you're gonna take the good people, very much good Israel.
Right. Right. So what does that look like in the real world? What is this analogy representing?
It'll be an analogy more so of
when will that happen? Go ahead, read verse 30.
Verse 30. These both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bend them in bundles to burn them.
Right. Bind them in bundles, tie them up, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
But gather the wheat into my barn.
Right. You want to take a shot? Right. Are you off? You kind of, yeah, it's no sweat, no sweat.
So he's gonna take these tares and bundle them up and then burn them.
Right. And you're gonna take the wheat, bring them into his barn.
Bring the wheat and bring them into his barn.
Right. Go ahead, sis.
So like I said, would it be when they have nuclear fire?
Yeah. All right, get this down. You know what I'm saying? World War III. He's saying, they like, man, we see all this evil amongst our nation, our people. Are we going to go and destroy them now and get them up out of here? Like, no, it's gonna be a time. This is a grace period. Get them the grace, and let's watch these things, because once we come, we're destroying everything. It's gonna be a whole reset. We're gonna burn this whole thing down. We're gonna gather those wicked men out of the nation. They're not gonna gain the kingdom. But the ones that are righteous, let them keep growing. Let them build up things and gather more brothers in, and then we'll bring them into the barn, into the kingdom of heaven. And these tares, we will destroy them, and they'll be lost. You know what I'm saying?
So essentially, like when World War III comes, destroy them, and then they're gonna gather the rest of all the so-called UFO.
Right. Yeah. So that's that right there. And that's why if you keep going down, it explains it. So Yahweh does explain these parables and give you that. And I guess the precept for 38, it says, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. Meaning, like, these are the ones that are following Satan. The enemy that sold them is the devil. So that's the white man that put these people in our community, but the actual tares are not Esau. They are our people that are following Satan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, let's go. Any more questions? All right, let's move on. You got a question? Go ahead, sis. Let's get down. Get some water.
I don't know if you heard of the King's protest.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, no King's protest.
Right.
And that's supposed to be happening on Saturday.
Correct.
So I wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
In what way specifically? I would say, like,
do you believe that our people should partake in that protest by not buying anything or not going out or things of that sort, the boycotting of basically buying?
Okay. So yeah, I didn't know that part of the protest that they're boycotting. What are they boycotting?
So they're supposed boycotting anything any organization that supported Donald Trump. So like Walmart, Target, or any of his policies, and essentially just not partaking in capitalism, essentially.
Okay. Oh, that's a very good question. Look, the trooper, you heard the question? What would you say to that? Somebody asked you that at camp. They're asking people to boycott things that supported Donald Trump or that are affiliated with him in some way, shape, or form. Should Israelites in general partake in it? Okay. What'd you say?
So like I said, I think my answer to that would be, I mean, we're trapped in this place. Like, sure, does it sound like it's like a righteous message to boycott these things? Absolutely. We want to keep all of our money within the communities, and especially in the UPK. But capitalism is what runs this kingdom. It is it's just what runs this kingdom. I mean, you gotta go to the grocery store. You gotta, get food. You gotta do certain things. I mean, if you're just doing it for a day,
read a little bit loud so people can hear you online. I mean, talk a little.
If you were just doing it for a day, then it would sound like okay. But like if you were trying to do this, like just boycott for as long as possible these I mean most of these big corporations, they own everything, and they all love Trump. So, I mean, Amazon in itself is trying to be a monopoly forever. So like you can't get away. I feel like you can't get away from having to buy from these people. You can try to buy from more black-owned businesses, but in all, I don't know if that the goal could truly be reached, you're gonna take the Most High to destroy it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what you're saying is right. You just want to deliver that with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know the truth, you have to understand what are they saying? They're saying don't support Donald Trump. And what is this going to do? That's the first question I ask. What is going to come from us not helping Donald Trump out? What is going to help Black Americans? How? You know what I'm saying? What is this boycott going to do for us? If you stop doing this, that means we should benefit from it some way, shape, or form. So we're going to support all the other millions of Edomites and go to their businesses that are destroying our community the same way. You see what I'm saying? So you got to get to the root of that. Go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 10 real quick. I'm going to do this precept. Hold on, let me see. 1 Corinthians 5. Go to verse 8.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the leaven of bread and sincerity and truth.
With the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. And in verse 7, it talks about purging out the old leaven. These things that are coming into the truth. This whole conversation is, if you go to the beginning of the chapter, it's talking about there's somebody in the truth that was doing very evil wickedness and having fornication. Some man was sleeping with his father's wife and doing this evil thing. And they're asking and not knowing what to do with it. He's like, y'all don't know how to judge these things or these different matters. Y'all should know to kick this cat out of the goddamn school and send him to Satan and send him to his evil, filthy lust. And he's saying, don't bring these old worldly things into the truth. Keep reading.
Verse 9. I wrote unto you an epistle not to company with fornicators.
Right. Don't be having company or friendship with fornicators, people that are acting like him. You shouldn't be with those type of men. You can't be in the truth and sleeping with white women. You can't be in the truth and a child molester. You can't be in the truth and doing bestiality or whatever the hell it is. You can't be a fornicator and be in the truth. A woman can't be in the truth and then have sex with other men. You know what I'm saying? That's not her husband. Go ahead and read.
Verse 10. Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world.
Right.
Or with the covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters. For then must ye needs go out of the world.
Right. Now, what does that mean? Anybody want to take a shot at that? Don't deal with idolaters. Don't deal with extortioners. Don't deal with covenanters. That's what we shouldn't do in the truth. But it's saying not the ones that are in the world. It's saying you're going to have to deal with fornicators. You're going to have to deal with covetous people, idolaters in the world. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I was gonna say, sir, you're gonna have to deal with them, but if you are gonna deal with them, it should be more towards you pulling them into the truth, like Christ did with the publicans and sinners. Like they'll sit up there and say, "Well, Christ said with publicans and sinners." Yeah, he said with publicans and sinners to try to pull them into the truth, not to be like one of them.
Not quite, not quite. So yeah, that is a part of it. I'll say that's a part of it. But read verse 11.
But now I have written unto you not to keep company if any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or a covetous, or an adulterer, or an reveler, or a drunkard,
Right.
or an extortioner. With such and one no know not to eat.
Right. So what is it saying? Saying you're going to have to deal with these people in the world that are in the world. You can't, if you wanted to stop dealing with idolaters, you'd have to leave planet Earth. You wanted to stop talking to homosexuals, you're going to have to leave planet Earth. You're going to have to talk to these people. You're going to have to do what? Business with these people. You're not company with them. You're not friends. We're not, you know what I mean, hanging out together in the sense that we are really together. Like I said, you out here fishing somebody that's in the world, that's one thing, but you would never call them your brother like we are together in that sense. That's what he's saying. If there's a brother in the truth doing these things, sister, then you got to do this. Keep reading.
Verse 12. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without?
Mm-hmm.
Do not ye judge them that are within?
Right. So we can't go and say, oh, you're a homosexual, we're about to kill you. You know what I'm saying? But we can say you're in the truth, we're about to kick you out of the goddamn school. We're not going to eat with you. We're not going to be with you. You see what I'm saying? So how am I tying into the first kings or no kings, whatever? The reason why it doesn't matter if we protest or if we boycott any of these things, because it's not going to change our situation. So you're just going to go to another homosexual and buy some things that's going to have a negative effect on the black community. It's like you're trying to get away from the Republicans and go to the Democrats. And then somebody else is trying to get away from the Democrats and go to the Republicans. And neither of them have solutions for our community. Y'all want to know some things that you should boycott? All right, SUBK, you know we've been on a boycott since 1969, right? How about you boycott Halloween? How about you boycott Thanksgiving? How about you boycott Christmas? Here's another one. How about you boycott all that goddamn weed you can't stop smoking? If black people boycotted weed, that would have a bigger effect on our community than not going to buy Denny's because they did business with Donald Trump. They're not buying whatever Nike or this business because they're doing. That doesn't change anything. The boycott that we have in the UPK, following the law, statutes, and commandments, these things that we don't do because the Lord tells us not to do it, is what's going to change our community. It's not these little micro boycotts against businesses. We need to boycott sinning. That's the boycott we need to do. Stop doing that. Stop buying whores. Stop loving whores. Stop being a whore. Boycott whoredom. You will see a change. You understand? Sign Christ. All right. All right. All right. Let's anything else? All right, let's get to it. Tonight's topic, we already 8:14, is pride is sinful. Pride is something that Satan wants people to have in themselves, not in the Lord. Give me Proverbs, I believe 15. Go to our first precept. Proverbs chapter 15, I believe. Let me double check. No, Proverbs 6 and 17. It's a very, very powerful emotion and thought process to have pride in oneself. It's a very Edomite thing. They tell you in the book of Obadiah, it says, because the pride of Esau is the most powerful and prideful creature on planet Earth. They do things like mass shootings. And when people point out that Edomites are doing mass shootings, they be like, yeah, but niggas killing everybody out here. What does that got to do with mass shootings? You know the difference. A cat that went into this store to shoot out the BDs and the GDs, and yeah, he shot a bunch of people, is not the same as a white man waking up in the morning and just going into the mall and shooting everybody. They're not his ops. They had nothing to do with anything. They didn't kill his cousin. They just are stressed out and they don't know how to handle their emotions, and they go kill a bunch of people, unalive a bunch of people. They are so prideful that they don't want people to know that there's evil amongst their own people. They will release them. We talked about it at camp. The cat was a goddamn, he had pedophile stuff on his phone or his laptop. Child porn, you know what I'm saying? The judge gonna let him go because he's not gonna let another white man be in jail with niggas and savages and spics. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could I put my people in a situation with them? They're gonna protect their people at all costs. That's what pride is. It's you will do anything and everything to protect your ego and what you think is great, no matter what you do. So we cannot, coming out of the world, we have to shed that. That's one of the biggest things we have to get rid of, is this feeling of prideness about ourselves and what makes us great, because it will prevent correction. It will prevent growth, right? That's why it's a sin. Go ahead and read. Go ahead, ICR.
6 and 17, so right?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 17.
Matter of fact, go up to verse 16.
Verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate.
The Lord does what?
The Lord hate.
Right. So the Lord hates. We see this throughout the Bible. Christians hate to use that word hate, but the Lord does hate things. Read.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17. A proud look.
A what?
A proud look.
Right. Read.
A lying tongue. And hands that shed innocent blood.
Right. So someone that has a proud look, it goes and leads into lying. It's going to force you to lie, because when you're confronted with something that you've done wrong, then you're going to have to make it about something else to cover up what you did wrong. So that leads to lying. So a proud look is going to cause lies. And this is why we say our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. Because when we address the things they done wrong, they start to lie about it and deflect and point to other things. They never take what? Accountability. Someone that is prideful can never take accountability for their wrong. And these are the things that result in that. Keep going. Verse 18.
Verse 18. And heart that deviseth wicked imagination, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Right. And these are all different things that the Lord hates. And all of these things are connected. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, and feet that be swift in running to mischief. When we talk about, I've said it before, rap music is something that sometimes you got to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? You be listening to it or watching these videos, and people still watching them. But it's one of the most prideful genres of music that if you fall into that spirit and you bring that thing into the truth, it can be very detrimental. Now, we can listen to it like entertainment. That's fine. No sweat. But if you take on the ideologies of how these cats is looking about, I'm great, I got this, look at my money, look at that, look at this makes me great. All the credit goes to themselves. The Lord doesn't want you to have pride in yourself. If you get all the pride and all the credit, then the Lord gets nothing. If you give the Lord all the credit and you find pride in the Lord, then you lift him up, right? Which is what he deserves. And so a lot of times it's like you having a 22 gun. You're like, man, I'm going to go and get some glory with this 22. The Lord got a bazooka. You keep trying to use this 22. The Lord like, get out the way. Let me show you who really is that dude. You're getting in the way of the Lord doing those things. So this is why we have to stay humble, and humility is the opposite of pride. Being humble is a very important spirit to have in the truth. So I'm going to bring a couple of precepts. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, because a lot of these things are wisdom. We're going to be in Ecclesiastes for a minute. There's a lot of wisdom in this book. Ecclesiasticus 4:23. And that, I mean, I knew it was bad when I kind of feel the older generations of how the transition of music has evolved from the hip hop, the hippity hop, and they broken glass everywhere. It's like they were trying to speak on something for the poor and represent for the downtrodden, just like Jamaicans and reggae music that came out back in the days. It was oftentimes uplifting Black people and talking about the oppression we're going through. And then somewhere it became commercialized and cats started making money, and it just got to the point where we're here, cats are making songs talking down on poor people. And I'm like, I sometimes I try to wrap my mind around it when they're like, you broke niggas, or I don't talk to broke niggas, and it's other brothers talking about broke niggas. Like, didn't you come from poverty? You talking about you came from the hood. I can understand somebody may not be on their hustle, but everybody in the hood cannot become a millionaire. Or do they feel like maybe they're talking about other rappers? Like maybe in their mind, they're like, oh, you're a rapper flexing like you got money. You really a broke nigga. Ha, 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 ha. But it's like, what does that psychology do to the 10-year-old that really just barely had cereal for dinner for every night this week? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still looking down on poverty when the majority of our people are in poverty. It just doesn't make sense to me that we've gotten to that point. That's because of pride has led them to feel like that they even forget anyone else in these situations. They can't even empathize or feel for them. Go ahead. It's lucky.
Verse 23, sir.
Yep.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty.
Right. Refrain not to speak when there's an occasion to do good. When there's a time to speak and help people out, then you should not hold your tongue. You should speak up for what is right. Don't hide your wisdom and your beauty. You have to speak on certain things at certain times. Read.
For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. Verse 25. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thine ignorance.
Right. So if someone is speaking something in wisdom and they're teaching the truth, you shouldn't go against it because you don't know something. You know what I'm saying? Like, this happens at camp all the time. You'll hear people come up against us and they will try to argue things that are clearly, they don't make any sense. They'll either make up lies, they will say all manner of things and really try to defend something that is wrong just because they don't know something. Like, instead of just saying, I don't know, their pride won't let them do that, so they're going to keep fighting. Drop that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 2.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5 and verse 2. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart.
Right. This is wisdom right here. When people follow their own mind and start doing their own things, then we get so many variations of life. That's why I say, wide is the gate to destruction. Like, it's a narrow path into following the Lord and serving the Lord. That's how we have to be. And this is why we say this is the only home of the truth. We're narrowing down the people that we follow. When you open it up, there's so many different doctrines, so many different ways to do this. And you start to find that people fall to the wayside because everyone wants to make their own doctrine, their own beliefs, their own understanding. And following wise men is easier to move because you don't have to think. Like, you don't have to figure out what is right. Like the road has already been paved for you. Someone will say it like this: you live and you learn. Y'all heard that before. You trial and error. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna have to go through some things. This is what he told us. Oh, you don't understand now. You're just gonna have to go through some things, and then you'll understand later. That is not One West. That is not the ISUBK. We don't live and learn. We don't live and let live. We don't have to go through the fire to understand that it's hot. It's the same thing with your child. They want to touch the stove. You tell them, don't touch the stove. They're like, oh, I want to. Don't touch it. It's hot. I know it's hot. You don't need to go through it to, I'm not going to, you know what I mean? But at some point in time, if someone is pushing and keeps going, then you do got to get out of the way and let them touch the stove, just like you would your son. Like, all right, you don't want to listen, go ahead and do it. These things were put in place so that we don't have to go through certain things. You understand? The protocols that were set up in the truth were put in place so that we don't have to find out that fire is hot. It's just following that order and moving forward, following the wisdom that was given, that was passed down, and moving forward with it. All right. Where we at with it?
Verse 3, sir.
Let me see if we're gonna go. No, let's drop down to verse 11.
Verse 11. Be swift to hear.
No, wait, hold on. Yeah, my fault. Read verse 3. I'm tripping. That's a very good precept. Yep.
And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
Right. One more time.
Say not, who shall control me for my works?
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
Right. So don't think because you're able to get away with certain things that the Lord is not gonna humble you. You understand? Your pride lifting you up. You think you can get away with anything because you've been successful? No, that's not the case. Read verse 4.
Say not, I have sinned, and what harm has happened unto me?
Right.
For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go.
Right. So that's what America, that's once again the spirit of your oppressor. He thinks because they have built such a great country, they have millions and billions of dollars. Donald Trump feels like there is nothing that will humble him, and his pride is not allowing him to see the destruction that he's creating. It's not allowing him to see the direction that things are going. And that is saying, don't think because the Lord is long suffering and giving you this time, giving you this grace, that nothing will happen to you. All right, drop down and read verse 11.
Verse 11. Be swift to hear.
Be what?
Be swift to hear.
Right. So what gets in the way of correction? Pride oftentimes. Ego. Right? If you have an ego, you feel like this thing is saying I'm less of a value. If I'm doing this and I need to change, then I'm less of a value. When in reality, the behavior is just the thing that needs to change, but it doesn't mean you're a low value. So a lot of times, your ego can be fragile or almost a low self-esteem. That certain experiences that we come through growing up you have a need to protect yourself. And so coming into this thing, you start to see certain things. You're like, okay, hold on. This is this and this is that. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to stop doing this. I need to start doing that. Okay, nah, there's something wrong with this. I don't want to say it like this. Let's keep reading with these precepts. These precepts are good, man. My apologies, y'all. Read verse 11 again.
Come. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere.
Mm-hmm.
With patience give answer.
Right. So, like, once again, be swift to listen and take in his information in sincerity, and be patient before giving an answer. Don't be quick to talk. What is this? Another precept? I think we got it. Be slow to speak and quick to listen to learn. That's how we gotta be in this thing. All right, keep going.
Verse 12. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor.
Right.
If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Right. What does that mean? Straight to the point. Go ahead.
Like, if you're in a conversation with somebody and you like, if you understand what they're saying, like let that be known. And if not, then just shut the hell up.
Damn near. If thou hast understanding, if you know something, you can speak on that. If you don't, shut the hell up. That's exactly what it's saying. You know what I mean? Gain that wisdom. Let's keep going on. That's a good one. Let's go to chapter 6 and verse 2. I say I got a lot of precepts in here on this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 2. Like, how do you say this word?
Extol.
Extol.
Mm-hmm.
Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
Alexa, what is the definition of extol?
Expo is usually defined as a World's Fair or international exposition.
I told you. Alexa, stop. I have to really extol. I have to talk. Extol. Alexa, what is the definition of extol?
The verb extol is usually defined as to praise highly, laud, eulogize.
That's it right there. Extol, don't exalt yourself. Don't raise yourself up in the counsel of thine own heart. That's pride. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, ain't nobody tell me nothing. I'm up here and I know what I know. So this is why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
Right. And that's what, I mean, we see it so much now. Like I said, we got our times with everybody. Everybody has their time, right? Women, pride, and a lot of times women, they talk about this accountability thing. It comes up a lot that if you show a lot of women, not all women, especially solid sisters in the truth, you show women in the world and these things where they're wrong, their pride won't let them admit that. And so they're going to try to protect their ego and deflect or go to something else instead of taking in what is being said. And then they get destroyed every time. Like, once again, I'm seeing this topic on the internet. It said that patriarchy is what's wrong with the world. Men being in charge is what's wrong with the world. And there was a brother on there talking about, he was doing a whole breakdown saying that patriarchy makes men hate femininity. And patriarchy makes men not want to be smart. And patriarchy does this and does that. And I'm like, all of these people are doing the same thing we were talking about last week. They're missing out that it's white patriarchy. It's white toxic masculinity. It has nothing to do with patriarchy because all patriarchy means is that men are in charge, men are the leadership. But these other things come from white men being in charge and white leadership because this is not how men in the matter of fact, somebody Google patriarchy and read. This is ridiculous, right? But this is that example of, yep. I was looking it up earlier. Let's see if it's got some of the same things on the first. I'm like, damn, I can't believe.
You want the definition, sir?
Yeah, I got an AI overview on mine. I don't know if it says the same thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
Patriarchy is a social system where men hold primarily power and dominate in roles of political leadership.
Right, exactly.
Moral authority, social privilege,
Mm-hmm.
and control over property.
Right.
It is characterized by a hierarchy that privileges men
Right.
and includes both formal institutions and informal
Blah,
cultural.
blah. Right. We blah, blah, blah. It says it also perpetuates gender inequality. Let's see, drop down to let me see, economic life. Go to where it says economic life.
Economic life. A persistent gender pay gap exists, and women are often excluded from paid work or concentrated in lower paying jobs.
Right. Household and family.
Household and family. Traditional family structures can lead to women having their labor, such as housework and childcare, disproportionately
expropriated. I gotta look
expropriated
that up by male
by
partners.
male partners.
Right, but this basically they're yeah. Keep going. Violence too.
Violence.
Mm-hmm.
Women are more likely to experience gender-based violence, and the threat of violence can limit their autonomy.
Right, and so it says all these different things. There's a couple other things. It says for women, patriarchy can limit women's autonomy and personal, economic, and social, blah, 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 blah. All these things are saying that this sounds like a very evil system, and they're putting men being in charge equals all these things. That's not the case, because traditional values and families, once again, they're talking about the 1950s where men were in charge and the women stayed at home and the men were the only ones working. The majority of human history, men and women both worked on the farms, and they both benefited from these things, and they worked together into a richer family. The Bible talks in Proverbs 31 that a woman would go out and buy a field, and that a woman would sell it and bring things to her husband and do these things, a very important part economically to the family in the Bible. And the Bible still is a patriarchy, having men in charge. Violence against women. The Bible doesn't tell men to go beat women. This is not in the truth. We don't teach that. You see what I'm saying? Men being in charge don't equate that. But guess what? White men in charge equates this. Now you go out and try to speak this to 100 women, and their pride is going to prevent them from hearing these things. They're going to, in order to be right, they have to prove, even though I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Patriarchy is messed up. It's just white patriarchy. It has nothing to do with men being in charge. But they're not going to hear that because I'm challenging one thing that they believe. And that is effeminate, emotional, and there's no room for that in the truth. And there's definitely no room in that, you know what I'm saying, amongst the brothers. So go back and read verse 2. Shit. Get my water. Where we at? What time was that? 8:40. Let me pick it up.
Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
Right. And all them women that is putting all their energy into fighting the patriarchy and not fighting the oppressor, they're gonna fight who? Who are these patriarchy women gonna fight? That are sisters. Exactly. They're gonna fight the one person as an ally and can help build them up out of this white man's patriarchy and perpetuate the white man's patriarchy. There's a way that he's in rulership is because he got your dumbass following these white women who support the white men. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing that we're talking about. But once again, you're gonna be torn to pieces. All right. Let's drop that. Let's keep going. We're gonna go 6 and 32. Let's drop down a little bit and pick it up with these precepts.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
Like if you want to, you're gonna be taught. All these precepts or a father giving his son wisdom, giving him game on how to be a wise man amongst his people, his nation, his tribe. If you want to, you will learn. Keep going.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 33. If thou love to hear,
Right.
thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
Right. Like you have to humble yourself. It's another thing. Like I said, it's one thing. It's so great, right? In the truth, that a lot of times we can see weakness in people in the world. We see weakness in your oppressor. We see weakness in women. You know what I'm saying? We see weakness in others, but the most important thing that we should fight is weakness in ourselves. I remember, I think Captain Kaposh said something. It was heavy that we know that we say in EBK, life is about warfare. The biggest war that you have to fight is in the mirror. The war within yourself is the first battle. This is why these other revolutionary organizations, they don't exist, because they're all about going out and see. That's why another thing I'll say to this, being the truth, they always tell us, why you keep blaming the white man? Why you keep blaming them and doing this and doing that? Y'all never got no solutions for y'all people. Y'all got never have any solutions for us, because they don't get past camp. They don't get past what we may say on this video or this tape. They're not seeing the actual program that we have to change lives. They're just taking this 1 second bite and they're running with it. You understand? You got to see our program is us changing ourselves. Our program is us becoming new men, new women. You know what I mean? Like, this is not about us going out and doing anything to these people. We're just letting our people know the thing that's going to help you make yourself better is knowing who your enemies are and seeing what they've done to motivate you to go in a different direction. But our fixing is all within the mirror. You understand? And that's what makes us wise, right? Read verse 33. Are we at 33? Uh-huh.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
Right.
Verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
Right.
Verse 35.
Uh-huh.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Right. Like, don't listen. I mean, that's it. It's simple. Don't let these parables escape you. Don't let it go over your head, because you're not listening. You're not taking it in. Keep going.
Verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
B times. So B times means early, like almost before times. Before regular time, get over there early and get an understanding from a wise man. And we often use this precept of saying sometimes you come into truth, you may not want to call someone to get breakdowns, or call someone you feel like you're bothering them, or call to get counsel. That's a demon telling you not to get wisdom. You should go and get that learning and get that understanding. If that person doesn't want to teach you or help you, they shouldn't be in that spot. You know what I'm saying? Because a man of the Lord loves to do the job. You know what I'm saying? No one signed up to get paid to do this job. We do these things because we love it, even if it's a sacrifice. So get to this man B times early, constantly. Keep going.
And let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Lord, that's what it's saying. Constantly coming, constantly seeking these things. All right. Read verse 37.
Verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments.
Right.
He shall establish thine heart. and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Right. So if you're constantly thinking about these things from class, from what we're learning, from these conversations people are having, then you will have this growth and you will be wise too, because it's not something that is just, once again, your own creation. Somebody created the patriarchy is wrong. One day they woke up. I never heard it for 20 goddamn years. And in the past 5 years, I've heard the word patriarchy more than I've ever heard in my whole life. And now all of a sudden it's on everybody's mind. And people are running with these things. But this book has been around for 4,000 years and there's wisdom in it, and it had nothing to do with men being in charge. And the Bible says that men are supposed to be in charge. But it's not saying any man, because you have a rod doesn't mean you should be in charge. So they're conflating the two, which is why, you know what I mean, us tying in serving the Lord is so important to anything that we do. But it's like, if I'm not, let's keep going. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 14. To a few of these things. Man.
You said 14, sir?
Yeah, 7 and 14.
7. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 14. Use not many words in a multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayest.
Right. Anybody want to break that one down? Go ahead.
Like, it's like when you hear when people that are wiser than you and group and they're speaking, wise things, is wise to, just listen.
Yeah, brother. You know what I mean? Like, man, you get around certain, obviously, generals, captains, you know what I'm saying, high-ranking men, it's time to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just soak up the game, get the knowledge. You got any questions, you coming with that. Outside of that, you're not going to impress them by trying to sound wise. That's what a lot of times young, not saying young men, but like young men, if that makes sense. Like a young-minded person will want to impress wise men by matching wisdom. Like I had a friend in the world. He used to be weird. I'm like, is he doing this on purpose? Somebody would tell them a story about, man, I had this situation, I went through this or that. And he would, every time he would almost parrot them, like, yeah, I went through a situation just like this and like that. I'm like, every time somebody says something, like, you just want to match that story, match that information, match that wisdom. I'm not trying to go toe to toe with Commander General Hanna. I'm about to just listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to add anything to him or impress him with my breakdown. I'm about to just shut the hell up and listen at this table, because it's more for me to learn at this point in time. But that's how people become wise. So we all, like I said, we always hear that too, when a lot of times people may come out the world and they got all these damn battle stories, and I sold this and I sold dope and I killed this nigga and went to prison, and that. It's not impressing the generals. It's not impressing the captains. It's not impressing that's not impressing them. You know what I'm saying? Impressing them is seeing a trooper going this way and that way, this way and that way. It's not sitting up here trying to be all in the conversation and doing that. They want to see you going to and fro, working. Coming to class, sitting down, being quiet and learning. You know what I'm saying? That is how you become wise. That's how you grow. That brother in Chicago, I think he was 10 or 12 years old, was amazing. You remember that young brother? That brother is a super trooper. I would have, if I was a trooper and I see him, I would have been trying to keep up with him. I would have been offended that a 10-year-old is doing more than me. You know what I'm saying? Personally, that would have offended me. Like, there's nobody going to give a 10-year-old shout out on my watch. If he getting a shout out, I'm getting a shout out too. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. It's no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga is amazing, man. Give that brother a hand. Give that brother's father a hand, man. His father picked us up from the airport. That is, I can't wait to see what he becomes. But that is what, you know what I mean? Well, I heard Jim Hyman say, I'm just saying the same things I've heard. These are not my words. I'm just giving the breakdown that I was taught. You know what I'm saying? He said, them dope stories that you try to tell me. He said, you know what? We hate drug dealers. This brother think he's impressing me, telling me about how much dope and gangbanging he did. I don't give a damn about that. I hate drug dealers. I want them to be hung up from the goddamn rafters as a man in the truth, personally. The pimp does not impress me. You understand? Impress me is taking the trash out and mopping. That's what impresses them. So, what does it say? It says that when wise men are there, it's best to be quiet and learn from these things. All right, drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 8:8.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 8. Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease.
Right. Despise not the discourse of the wise. Like, that's something they say, you got to check your spirit. Wise men are having this, and it's bothering you, it's angering you. They're dropping the truth and dropping the knowledge that's angering you. You'll see that with fake Israelites. They come around, brothers in the truth. They despise the wisdom of what is being taught. We seen that again in Chicago, man. These cats, fake Israelite in a wheelchair, when he came to the barbecue after he tried to flare up on General Aya Shawamar, like he was wrong and he didn't know the truth, and they both had the truth, and all these things that he's saying against the UPK, which makes us wrong. The brother came and we helped him because he was in a wheelchair. We had to, still search him for Shamar. I see a lighter fall right, in his wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, this brother is on drugs. You know what I'm saying? All that battling about this breakdown and this, that, and where y'all got the knowledge from, brother, your information is not getting you off of weed, man. You need to shut the hell up and listen to the general right now. This thing that you got, you're despising the discourse of the wise, but you need to learn the proverbs that they're teaching. You need to learn the things that they're teaching, because then that's what's going to make you become better. You should learn how to serve great men that have conquered getting high, have conquered dealing with whores, have conquered ending gang banging, etc. You know what I'm saying? You're still doing these things, but trying to battle someone over these. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's go to read verse 9.
Verse 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn from their father,
Mm-hmm.
and of them thou shalt learn understanding. So,
Mm-hmm.
and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need required.
Right. So what is this saying? It's just saying, don't miss the conversation of the elders, for they learned to their fathers. These things have been passed down. And all of this stuff that we're taught, it comes out of the Bible. That's what separates the home of the truth, is breaking down this book that no one could understand or no one had. They're not wise because they're reading this book to increase their ability to sin. When you're not actually supposed to be in charge of this, you're going to have so many sins, you're not actually getting rid of them, and you're going to read this book to sin. Like, there's a precept in here that says, basically, don't give your money to a sinner, or don't give charity to a sinner. So IUIC uses that to never give out food to the poor, or to never help people that are in the world. Like, how do we know that's not true, or that's not what that precept means? If you know the Bible, go ahead.
Because Christ did it.
Let that brother in. You know what I'm saying? But they're not in the spirit of the truth. They're in the spirit of making money and building an organization full of homosexuals. So they have to find these precepts and make it about something else because the Lord is closing their eyes to even see what this book even means. So they're blinded by all these things. It's the same reason why Tahar can read the same book and say you can rape a woman. Somebody else can read the same book and say I'm about to call the police and turn this brother in. Somebody else can read the same book, Guerrilla Hebrew, and say that you can sleep with white women or you can have prostitutes. They teach that in Sakari. You can buy a prostitute. They teach that in GMS. You can buy a prostitute. You understand? Their spirit won't allow them to see what's really here, and it doesn't allow them to get wise and grow. The ones that are teaching the truth learned it from the people that was passed down, and they learned it from this book, really seeing what is written here. All right? Let's go to chapter 9, verse 18. I think we're almost done with Ecclesiasticus. What time we got? 8:56. All right?
You said 18, sir?
Yep.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9, verse 8.
But go to verse 17, man.
Verse 17. For the hand of the
artificer.
For the hand of the artificer, the work shall be commended.
Right, let's look up that word. I think it's just like somebody that's a craftsman. Artificer. Definition. A skilled craftsman or an inventor. The hand of the artificer, the work shall be commended. Like the things that he made, you're going to get credit for that. You built something with your hands. Karak has that shield. Some brother in the school made it. He's an artificer. You see that work, you're going to be like, damn, that's fire. How did you put that together? You're going to get credit for that. Keep going.
And the wise ruler of the people for his speech.
Right, like somebody that's wise and a ruler of the people, they're going to be known from their speech because it's very powerful in the things that you say. We hear these different precepts in the Bible that saying the tongue is a small piece of the body, but it can do a lot of damage in the things that we say. So we got to watch how we communicate, talk to each other, and because it can tear people down more than physical violence. So that's another big lie that they told us growing up. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Verbal abuse is a real thing. You understand? So much so that it's oftentimes people would choose physical harm over verbal violence because those things stick. Then you a goddamn parent, you're talking to your kid ridiculous, reckless, you dirty, stupid, dumb. Like, man, that is very detrimental to a small child, and it's not something to be taken lightly. How we talk to each other, how we communicate is very important. Is why it's something pushed in the UPK. All right, read verse 18.
A man of an ill tongue.
A man of what?
A man of an ill tongue.
Right.
Is dangerous.
Is what?
Is dangerous in his city.
Right. A man of an ill tongue that just talks reckless. He talks and uses words that just indiscriminate in how he communicates with people is very dangerous in the city. And that is the culture that we've learned in slavery in America. Our culture is not Israelite culture. We think that love is talking crazy to someone else, like that is it. You come, oh, big-headed ass nigga, little cockeyed. Like that is how we think that we show love to each other in the black community oftentimes. I don't know too much if Latinos are going to do the same thing. They call them gordo, and I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's as much roasting, but that is something like Judahites are big on that. We feel like if we don't disrespect you, we don't love you. We're not close. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily true. It's fun to have jokes and play, but to a certain extent, foul communication, even when we say nigga, like we want to have it only as being a positive word. In front of public, we say, "Yo, we took that word back. We made it ours. That's my nigga. That's my nigga. I love my niggas." You didn't use it like that when you was beating that nigga. You bitch ass nigga. You got me that money, nigga. Where my mother money at, nigga? Like, nigga, you're not talking to him in brotherly love. That is a different way of saying it. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we communicate and try to convince ourselves that things that we're doing are positive when it really no, Aqua. That is not positive. That is not love. That is hatred. You're speaking violently. You know what I'm saying? Your communication is off, and you're going to destroy this person's spirit. You can destroy a whole goddamn city because you looking at a town of people that communicate violently with each other. And we wonder why the violence is so goddamn high, because we're not teaching our children how to communicate positively, whether they're angry or whether they're calm. There's no brotherhood in their speech. It's enforced in the UPK of our culture of way we talk to each other because it's brotherhood in the speech. Salakia, sir, if I may. Da-da-da-da-da, Khan, the water, Most High in Christ. This is a way of talking that we never communicated before. It's a formality, right? And a lot of times we become used to being informal so much that it's hard, almost uncomfortable to speak like that. But we don't realize such the negative effects of doing this for so many years. Read verse 18 again.
A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city.
Right.
And he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. What
does rash mean? Rash means, this is let me see, it says pulling up an actual rash definition. Let me say rash talk. Let me see what that comes up. Rash talk meaning
lack of care.
You got it? Okay. Most High in Christ. Like, yeah, speaking too quickly without careful thought. Trash talking. You understand? Boastful language to intimidate others. Meaning or acting, speaking too hastily or carelessly without proper consideration for the consequences. Like sometimes if you take a pause and a break, if you're frustrated and you feel attacked and you want to say something, take a deep breath. Pause before you respond. What does it say? Don't react to a situation, respond to it. That takes a little bit of self-awareness. So he that is rash in his talk shall be what? Shall be what? All these alerts, I don't know where they
shall be hated.
Shall be what?
Shall be hated.
Shall be what?
Shall be hated.
Right, yeah. That's where hatred comes from. We watching that one video. Who was that? That was Snubs. Snubs and some cat in Sacramento was roasting each other. He's talking about how he's dressed. And then the next thing you know, he's talking about how he's dressed. And the next thing it comes is you not a real pimp. The next thing comes is you ain't getting no money. The next thing comes is, nigga, we about to fight. You understand? And after that fight, what do you think is next? Nigga, somebody gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, all of that could have been avoided if them brothers was talking and communicating with respect for each other. All right? Let's drop that, man. Let's go to James 1:19. I think it's another preset that it says that I know we got the one that says firebrands. If you can joke so much and offend someone, that's not joking. It's not playing around. You saying I'm throwing firebrands around and saying that it's sport. I just I'm throwing something at you and it's actually harming you. We shouldn't play like that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Somebody got a question online. Let me double check and see if this is like it. I'm missing these answers on here. Okay, I'll say Salakia Matam Yat. You got a few questions. I'm gonna try to address them if you're still with us, Matam Yat. Go ahead, type a 1 in the chat if you're still with us. Or maybe double back and check these answers as well. Salakia, we missed a lot of these questions. Go ahead, what you got?
Verse 19, sir. James 1:19.
Yes.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of,
go ahead.
For the wrath of man worketh not in the righteousness of God.
Righteousness of God, right? So wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be what? Swift to hear and slow to speak. Once again, these are the same things. It's a reoccurring theme. Like that's that respond versus reacting. You can't respond. You got to take in part what's being said before you respond to that. And then don't be so quick to anger. Like anger is an emotion. That's something the dude, I think I said or reading in the comments, they said that the patriarchy teaches that being angry is not an emotion. Hell nah, you ain't heard no UPK breakdown. That's the first thing that we say when we say don't be emotional. The most emotional thing you can do is be angry. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It ain't crying and following. Oh man, somebody did this. Somebody. Nah, anger is the biggest emotion that men have to control. Men have to be on guard. What is going on here? Be slow to speak, slow to wrath. All right. Before we keep going, I had a few more precepts, but let's go up to what this brother is asking. So somebody give me the book of Jonah. He says, Salag, if I may, what scriptures, prompted Ariah for the 2K prophecy? I don't know what scriptures prompted Ahad Priest Ariah for the 2K prophecy. Okay, I don't have that breakdown in if he said that. I thought he was asking what scriptures show that the prophecy didn't happen, but he was still right. So I know in the book of Jonah, it talks about the Lord said that Nineveh was going to be destroyed at this time. Jonah didn't want to go tell the city. He went and told the city and warned the people. They fasted and they did not have that destruction at the time. And so, but it was still a right prophecy. The Lord just spared Nineveh. Give me Genesis 12:3. Let's see what this is. And I think one more person had a question. I want to address that. Yeah, Mother Mia is still with us. What's on your question?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12 and verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And these shall all families of the earth be blessed. Verse 4.
Okay, hold on. So he said, also you understand Genesis 12, what families is he speaking about? So all families, all these different nations, the people that honor the children of Israel, that don't try to destroy us and fight us, the Lord is going to bless them. The ones that try to go and destroy us, the Lord is going to curse them. That's any family. That's any of these other heathen nations. It's not a specific nation. Anybody that's not the children of Israel, if they support the children of Israel, then the Lord will bless them. If they trying to destroy us, the Lord is going to curse them. This is just more for us to understand that if we serve the Lord, even our enemies will be at peace with us. We see it all the time in UPK. People that hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, for some reason, they listen to us and they're like, all right, I get what you're saying. I think that dude on that Commander Hana was talking to, I got to go back and look at his work more. But the interviewer, he was agreeing so much with Commander Hana, but I think he's a white supremacist. The way that he kept talking about Jewish people, I'm like, he sounds like an Aryan, but for some reason, he's like everything the general was saying he's in agreement with is because they don't deny the truth of what we're speaking because they've never seen anybody else explain it like this. They say even the police would come, they be like, man, I may not agree exactly with what y'all saying, but the structure that you got and the order that you have, I'd rather see y'all out here doing this and out here selling drugs and shooting up people. It makes my job a lot easier, right? But go ahead. Let's see anything else. This person, Lou, said, which blacks were the true Israelites? There's so many different tribes in Africa. Which ones are the chosen people and which ones are not? To give you the straight answer, the blacks from Africa that are here in America are the Lord's chosen people. The ones that are in Africa that are from America are the Lord's chosen people, meaning there are black people in Africa that are from here that are Israelites. People in Libya, in Liberia, you understand? There are different tribes. The majority of the Israelites are here in this side of the map. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. There are Israelites around the entire earth to the four corners of the earth, but they are a small remnant in each different nation on earth. So there's some Israelites that live in Vietnam because some Israelites went over there and had sex with some Vietnamese women. There's some Israelites in Spain because when Columbus came, they brought back some Native Americans over to Spain. Some Israelites in the Middle East because of the whatever trade that the Arabs had with us. You understand? Bringing people back over there. But when it comes to the Hamites that are the people in Africa, they're saying so many different tribes. It's the ones that are Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. That's the best way that I can say that answer. All right. Let's go. All right. Back to a couple precepts. We'll close down. Y'all got to wake it up in here, man. I'm gonna start yelling at y'all in a minute. Wake this class up. What does it say? Ephesians 4:2. Whoever got it first is go for time's sake. Ephesians 4:2. Yep.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 2. With all lowliness, that's how you say it?
Lowliness.
With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another.
Right. Right. That's humility, lowliness, meekness, long suffering. What does long suffering mean? Anybody? Go ahead.
Suffering long.
Sorry, I take that. That's all right, crying. Now, your teacher in middle school is not taking that if you use the same words to define it. But yeah, that's it. What else does it mean? A little bit. Go ahead.
So I can say to not give up, to endure. So.
Right, endure. Long suffering. What does it have to do? Why is it saying this? Read it again. I'm gonna read it too. I'm gonna read the definition.
With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love.
Right. Long suffering, having or showing patience in spite of troubles, especially those caused by other people. Being long suffering is what Peter didn't understand. Christ taught him how to long suffer. He said, how many times shall I forgive my brother if he offend me? 7 until 7 times? Christ said, nah, 7 times, 70 times. You're going to be long suffering with this brother. We have to be long suffering with our ribs. Our ribs have to be long suffering with us. If we're not able to show patience in spite of troubles, even though it was caused by someone else, then we will not be having brotherhood. We won't be having sisterhood. That long suffering is allowing us to stay humble. It says meek. What does it say? Lowly and forbearing one another in love. You understand? That mercy, that forgiveness, that patience, that's the same thing the Lord gave to us. You understand? So we can't just wake up one day and it's shut up, bitch, do whatever I say. If you don't do what I say, then you got to kick rocks. That's not how this works, Hakeem. If you think that's what we teach in UBK, you out your goddamn mind. That's not what we teach here. You understand? A woman should obey her husband. A woman should listen to her husband. A woman should do what her husband says. But that is a choice that she has to make. That is a choice that she has to make. You can't force someone to obey you. And the way that you're going to do that is through long suffering, it's through meekness, it's through lowliness, it's through understanding and correction. And that's the same thing that she's going to have to do. She's going to have some long suffering for your thing. She's going to have some meekness and lowliness to her spirit. She's going to have to forbear in love the things that you are dealing with. And that way you can move forward. You understand? This is how things got to be. You know what I mean? For us to move forward as a nation, it's the same in any level where we at. Whether it's the men raising up the young brothers, it's the brothers raising their families. They guiding they families. All right. Drop that and give me let me get Proverbs chapter 9, verse 8. And say, lead by example. They always say that in my slavery. Lead from the front. You understand? A leader is selfless. A leader is someone that is a servant. You understand? In order for us to be leaders of our nation, of our people, that is how we get them to follow us. Man, if it was up to me, I would just grab a whole bunch of guns and make niggas come into the truth. If it's up to me. I wish we could be like Muslims. It's going to be better for you in the long run. You understand? We just start slapping up women and telling them to obey us, and that's it. We're going to have the kingdom of heaven. Don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to use some wisdom and tact. It says, deal with a woman according to knowledge, with knowledge. You understand? Wisdom and understanding, and with them as knowing that they're the weaker vessel in these things. You know what I mean? So today, you learn what it was. It's oftentimes, I hate to use that analogy, but you think he's gonna tell somebody something, and then tomorrow just goes 20 years of my goddamn oppression and suffering just out the door. I got the breakdown from General Hyman. It took me 4 years of watching classes to come to class, and I'm high as a kite in class for months. You know what I'm saying? Rolling blunts at home in class. You know what I mean? Like, and I became a priest. You know what I mean? It takes time to wash off and shed your cells of the world. Go ahead, Salaki.
Slocky, sir. I was gonna say you on some old BD Siegel type stuff. You either get down
or lay down. And that is a time and a place for everything too. Now, don't get it wrong. There is a time. The Lord Christ is gonna return, and it's gonna be that. So, but right now, we can't do it, man. I feel like life would be a whole lot better. I wish I could just go make niggas serve the Lord. You know what I mean? It's gonna be better. Like how they take people off to the crazy house and chop them up. It's gonna be better for you in the long run. Your life is going to improve if you do what we tell you to do, but it's not that time. You gotta give brothers, sisters, everybody the chance to grow, and that's what long suffering is. All right, let's go to our last couple precepts. We had 9:19.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 9 and verse 8.
Yep.
Verse 8. Reprove not a scorner, lest they hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee.
Damn, that's heavy. Somebody that's a scorner, wants to find things, is in full of pride, don't even try to correct him, because it's going to cause more conflict. But a wise man, you give correction, is going to be even wiser still. It's going to grow, because they're trying to see the spirit behind what's being said as opposed to what's being said. You get the ego out of the way, then that's what allows people to grow. You know what I mean? Because that's how Satan will come in and use pride to make an issue amongst brothers. Then that's where the next precept of Galatians 4:16. Matter of fact, go to Proverbs 12:1 while we're here. You still in Proverbs?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge.
Good night.
But he that hateth reproof is brutish.
Right. Alexa, what is the definition of reproof?
Reproof is usually defined as the act of reproving, censuring, or rebuking. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for reproof.
Rebuking, that's another word. I'm about to say the fact. The homosexuals took the rainbow, fake Israelites took the rebuke word. I hate the word. I don't like that word. It's in the Bible, but they just use it in a way that I don't like the way they use it. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear us saying rebuke too much, but reproof is just correction. It's check-ins. That is what that will, if you hate that, then you will become brutish. But if you love instruction, guidance, learning, wisdom, then you're gonna be on a good path, right? Galatians 4:16. We'll close it out.
The book of Galatians 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Right. Black people, Hispanic people, Native Americans do this every week at camp. They do this online in the comments all of the goddamn time. Someone speaking the truth of what God wants becomes the enemy. We become the ops to everybody. Am I there become your enemy because I tell you the truth? The woman that had an abortion is in pain about it. You tell a woman shouldn't have an abortion, the first thing is, F y'all, throw water at us. Something's wrong with y'all. Nobody cares about the Bible. That's the white man's book. Everything outside of should you kill a baby in the womb or not? All these other things that go on. Y'all need to get a job. Y'all bums. Y'all beat women. Y'all, all these things all have to come up against us. We're telling you the truth that you shouldn't get an abortion. That is pride once again. You know what I mean? It's blinding you from hearing the truth. All right? You will make that person your enemy, but the words they said were true, regardless of who said it or how they said it or when they said it or where they said it. The truth is the truth, regardless of how it was delivered up. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. All right. On the flip side, once again, long suffering. You just can't communicate things a certain way. It goes both ways, right? How you communicate to someone, telling the truth, it is important. Because if you communicate in a certain way, it can prevent someone from hearing these things. So once again, it's being seasoned in the way you talk to each other. That's things we all gotta learn, you know what I'm saying, and grow in. And I've seen it in the truth. It's some things we came up growing up. I seen these wise men get wiser, even in my short time in the truth. You know what I mean? So everybody, we all growing. You know what I mean? Little socket. Proverbs 19 and 20. So Hebrews 12. I'm losing my voice, man. Three
The
more.
book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Right.
Verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand.
Right. So yeah, hear counsel, receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end. The latter end is in the later on. Now is the time to get this wisdom. Now the time is to soak this up. And later in these things, you'll make better decisions in life by gaining these things. All right. Proverbs 15 and 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 31. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise, Verse 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding.
Mm-hmm. Verse 33.
33.
Yeah.
The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.
Before what?
Before honor is humility.
Right. Before honor is humility. Once again, his word is opposite of pride. Before honor, before you raised up, you humble yourself and learn. These are the things. Get corrected. Come into the school. It's just the small things that we get corrected and checked on in order to do bigger and great things. You know what I'm saying? If he was as responsible with least or less, can be given more. I'm saying, I'm paraphrasing that horrible, but when you can deal with something small, then you can deal with bigger and greater things. All right. Drop down to verse 32.
He that refuses.
No, he that is chapter 16, verse, might have been in the wrong one, my fault. Chapter 16 and verse 32.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty,
Mm-hmm.
and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
Right. So that shows you, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. So someone that is quick to anger is going to be very weak. He that rules his spirit is greater than he that can take it the city. He that can't rule his spirit is going to destroy a city. You understand? It's the same things. These cats are going to war all across America because they're quick to anger. Somebody looked at you wrong. Now you got to fight. Somebody stepped on your shoe and somebody got to die. All these people are quick to anger and destroying cities all over the world. If we were able to be slow to anger, we could build up cities all over the world. All right? I think I got the last one, Hebrews 12 and 11. We out of here.
So you said 12 and 11.
Yeah, kind of.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 11. Now no chastening for the present. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of the righteous unto them which are exercised thereby.
Right. Anybody want to take a shot at this one? It's that old English talk. Very formal, but it's a very heavy precept. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, chastening. What is chastening? So that's the first part. Chastening. Anybody? What's that? So good. One thing is good is knowing root words. I don't know what it's called, but like if you can see the root words or hear it, like Latin, certain times just me hearing it, I can see like chastise, chastening, chastise. It's correction. You know what I'm saying? So you start to look for those words, especially with words like that. If you could try to find another, it's just like Spanish. You hear this word over here, carne asada, and then you know it comes from the Latin word, which is like carnal. Carnal is flesh. You see these words are all connected. But yeah, chastened. For they verily, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. Go ahead.
Like, I'm thinking this is like, even if two people were talking, one is being corrected, if there's a third party there, it's not going to seem even to the other party like this is joyous thing.
Close to it. I wouldn't say the third party though.
Like I'm trying to put myself outside of it and look outside. Let me put myself in somebody else's shoes. Like if I was seeing this, like somebody who's being chastised or corrected, whether it be aggressive or not, never seems like it's always a bad thing, right? Never, it doesn't seem joyous. It seems like a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a different tone.
Okay. All right. Read it again. You touched on a few points, but it's something heavy. Matter of fact, read verse 10.
No.
Man, almost. Let's talk about. Man, damn, these are some good ones. God damn. I know. Oh, Jesus Christ, like it. Verse 6. Y'all bear with me. We started a little bit late. All right. This is important. Yeah.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For whom the Lord loveth,
right,
chasten.
Right. If you have a child and they're messing up, if you don't correct them, you don't care about that child. If you don't tell them they're doing something wrong, you're not going to teach that child what they're doing wrong. The Lord loveth the children of Israel, which is why he's correcting us in 400 years of slavery. If the Lord chasteneth whom he loves, read.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Right. If he looks at you like your son, then he is going to scourge, whoop you, whatever it is, correct you, and guide you to what's right, because he's looking at you like someone that he cares about. We're the children of Israel. We're the Lord's chosen people. We're sons of the power. So we have to be corrected. These other nations don't need it. Right? Keep going.
If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. Right.
So when we come into truth, when we endure correction, then he's dealing with us as sons, because he's guiding us and showing us love through the correction of us. Stop doing this, start doing that. Don't do it like this. Do this like that. All of those corrections guide us to where we need to be. Keep going.
For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not?
Good night. How the hell is he going to be your father and he don't never correct you? How the hell is he going to be someone that is over and watching for you? Is the Lord going to be with the children of Israel and never check us? This is crazy. This is why we're in the conditions that we are as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because this is the love that's given to us, is the chastening, is the correction, is the punishment, whatever that is, that discipline put on us is what is the love of the Lord. All right? Keep going.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
But be ye without chastisement.
But if ye
be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons.
Right. So the people in the world, they're not getting corrected. The people that don't come into school not getting corrected. We're not going over here and telling this nigga, you got to put on all black up the street and tell somebody over here his sister got to have her head covered on at the BART station. Nobody going and doing that, saying, sister, you need to put on a dress. That's what, you know what I mean? They over there trying to really change people on the street. You know what I mean? But you come up in here, it's rules, it's things that we got to do, certain way we have to follow things. That means we're not bastards. That means we are children. And once again, all these things tie in that pride. It just reminds me of fake Israelites. They don't want to get corrected. They don't want any check-ins. They don't want to have someone else to tell them they're doing something right and they're doing something wrong. So they puff themselves up and put them in charge and don't take nothing. But that's how they become bastards. They're not really sons of the prophets. All right, read.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us.
Right, your actual father told you don't do this. You didn't do that, you get in trouble for this. Fathers of the flesh, you're just regular father checked you and corrected you growing up. Read.
And we gave them reverence.
And you listened to your father. You follow what he told you to do. You obeyed him at certain times. Read.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Right. Should you not rather be in subjection of the Lord? Should you not follow men of the Lord? Should you not obey them? You can follow a man in the world. He telling you to come home at this time, follow that. But he also feeding you pork. You know what I'm saying? He also celebrating Christmas with you. He's leading you to sin, but we would obey his rules. We should follow the Lord's rules. Read.
For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure. But but he for our profit.
Right. They corrected you for their own pleasure. Like, this is how my son's going to listen to me, and he's going to work at my business. My son's going to listen to me, and he is going to bring me water whenever I say to bring me water and do what I ask for. But the Lord's correction is for your profit. That correction is to better you and help you out. Read.
That we might be partakers of his holiness.
Right. Verse 11.
Now no chastity.
No correction.
Now no chastity for the present seemeth to be joy.
It's never going to feel good. That's where they do that at. You know what I'm saying? Where the hell do you go and get told you're wrong about something and it feel good? It's not going to sit well with anybody. It's not what getting corrected feels like. Getting punished for coming home late, getting your video game taken away, you know what I'm saying? Getting your ass whooped. None of that ever felt good. But you whooping your kid's ass in order for them to change and do something in the long run to better them. You see what I'm saying? The chastity and the correction is not supposed to feel good. Really? Read.
But grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth a peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Right. So that's it right there. But afterward, once you go in the way of the correction, then the benefits of it will be greater than the punishment. You know what I'm saying? That feeling in that moment is going to go away. But the receiving of it is going to be way better and more peaceable. And you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, once again, this is the things that we were taught. This is the lessons that we were given in order to continue to grow this truth. The class I was listening to on the way over here by Commander Jehana is called Pride is Sinful. And he just goes into saying that is what can destroy the school, is pride. You know what I mean? If we can get rid of and watch for a pride spirit, this thing can continue to grow and continue to be what it is. Anything that can come in, that's the first thing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we always want to foster a culture of humility and humbleness and seeing, you know, who came before us. The rank is for a reason. It's to instill humility. It's to instill humbleness. That this person did this, I know it didn't just come by whatever. It's not how this thing works. It came through earning it. And that person there allows me to become humble. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's grievous, even if it's painful. That's what can humble me. You know what I mean? So, anybody questions, any comments before we head out? I know we way over the time. Maybe we're just gonna head out. All right. Shalom. Y'all about to show thumb. Y'all about to show. Okay. Over here. Right on.